Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome as we get set to kick off a double header weekend with Bellator MMA and our partners Mohegan Sun. Our East Coast home here at Mohegan Sun. We'll kick it off tomorrow night, Bellator 231. Saturday night, we'll continue live on Dazn with Bellator 232, where $1 million will be at stake for the Welterweight World Grand Prix. Again, that's Saturday night, second half of our doubleheader here at Mohegan Sun. Today, now, on the scales, we'll focus on tomorrow night's Bellator 231 on Paramount Network, headlined by two iconic names, Miele and Nelson. We'll put them on the scale last. We'll start first with our undercard, featuring fighters from in and around Mohegan Sun, Connecticut, New York, Pennsylvania areas. All of the fights, everything sanctioned and under the supervision of the Mohegan Tribe, Department of Athletic Regulation, Chairman James Gessner, Lynn Malerba, Chief of the Mohegan Tribe, Supervising Director, Mr. Mike Mazzulli. My name is Mike Williams. With us, as always, the lovely ladies from Bellator MMA, Ruiz and Mercedes. Let's put fighters on the scale now, starting with our prelims. First up, it'll be atom weights at 105 pounds. Set for 3 5-minute rounds. First up, fighters out of the blue corner, please welcome Elise Reed. And the first fighter on the scale, Elise weighed in officially 105.25, 105.25, making her professional debut. And now her opponent also making her professional debut. Out of the red corner, please welcome Rebecca Carnage Rampage Brigman. On the scale, 105 even, 105 pounds even. Helping us out with the face-offs on stage, VP of Talent Relations for Bellator, Mr. Rich Chow. Next up, our second prelim tomorrow night. Bellator MMA live on Paramount Network. Prelims on the Bellator MMA Global app. It'll be welterweights. Again, 3 5-minute rounds. First up, blue corner. Please welcome Thiago Oliveira. By way of Porto Alegre, he fights out of Salvador, Bahia, Brazil. Officially 169.75, 169.75. His opponent from East Hampton, Mass. Please welcome John Manley. 12-6 as a pro, returning to the Bellator cage, 170.25, 170.25 pounds for Manley. Next up on the scales, middleweights. Again, 3 5-minute rounds. First up, blue corner, Lucas Pimenta Borgas. 8-2 as a pro, do Brazil. He fights out of Newark, New Jersey. 184 on the scale, 184 pounds for Borges. And now his opponent from Manchester, New Hampshire, back in the Bellator cage, Tim the Bear Karen. $184.75, 184.75 for Karen. Next up, it'll be light heavyweights. First up out of the blue corner, Claude Wilcox. 1-0 early on as a pro from Hot Springs, Arkansas. On the scale, he comes in 202.75, 202.75. Now his opponent from Newcastle, PA, please welcome Hercules Dalton Rasta. He too stands at 1-0 as the professional, weighing in 205 pounds even, 205. In a night with great heavyweight competition on hand. We'll start off with our first pair of heavyweights. Out of the blue corner from Belgium by way of Istanbul, Turkey, please welcome Gökhan Sarıçam. Gökhan wastes no time, but he weighs in 243.25, 243.25. And now his opponent. Please welcome the undefeated at 6-0, Steve Mowry. Fighting out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Nearly the same, 243.5, 243.5 pounds for Mowry. Next up, it'll be featherweights. First up, please welcome the Widowmaker, Jessie Miele. She fights out of Waterbury, Connecticut, 8-3 as a pro, weighing in 146 even, 146 pounds even. And now her opponent coming off a world title challenge at featherweight. From Sao Paulo, Brazil, please welcome Talita Treta Nogueira. $145.75, 145.75 pounds for Nogueira. Next up, it'll be lightweights. Again, 3 5-minute rounds. First up, out of the blue corner, please welcome Achilles Mota. Fighting out of Curitiba, Bahia, Brazil. $155.25, 155.25 pounds. And now his opponent returning to the Bellator cage. He's undefeated, 7-0. Fighting out of Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Please welcome Mandel Rat Garbage Nalo. $154.25, 154.25 pounds for Nalo. Next up in the prelim card, it'll be welterweights. Again, 3 5-minute rounds from Watertown, Connecticut. Please welcome Orkan Smetsada. Making his pro debut. Weighing in officially 169 pounds even. And his opponent from Millville, New Jersey, at 1-0 as a pro, Connor the Caveman Dixon. $170.25, 170.25 on the scale. And your final fight on the prelim card, live on the Bellator MMA Global app tomorrow night. It'll be flyweights, 3 5-minute rounds. First up, blue corner from South Brunswick, New Jersey. Making his pro debut, please welcome Turbo Pumi Nukuda. $125.25. 125.25. And now his opponent from Brooklyn, New York, 1-0 early on as a pro. Please welcome Aiden Haley. On the scale, 126 pounds, 126 even for Haley. And with that, we'll go to our main card tomorrow night from Mohegan Sun, Bellator 231 live on Paramount Network. A 5-fight main card starts with and is anchored by heavyweights. So we'll start there. Your first televised fight in the heavyweight division, set for 3 5-minute rounds. Your first fighter making his Bellator debut. Please welcome the Lionheart, Anthony Garrett. 4-2 as a pro, 3 knockouts, 1 submission to his credit, officially on the scale 265. 265 pounds, right on the heavyweight limit. And now his opponent, third time in the Bellator cage, he's 2-0. So far, both wins by submission. Please welcome the Big Hurt, Jake Hager. Division I All-American wrestler. Superstar in the pro wrestling world, now in the MMA cage on the scale 249. 249 pounds even for Hager. And now the second fight up on the main card, Paramount Network tomorrow night for Bellator 231. We'll welcome flyweights, again set for 3 5-minute rounds. First up, blue corner, please welcome Ilara Arya Stark Johanni. 8-4 as a professional. By way of Fortaleza, she fights out of Natal, Rio Grande do Norte, Brazil. Officially on the scale, 125.25, 125.25. And now her opponent also making her Bellator debut from Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. Please welcome Rowdy Beck Rawlings. On the scale, 125 and 1/2 pounds, 125.5 for Rawlings. And next up, it'll be welterweights in the Bellator cage, 3 5-minute rounds. Making his Bellator debut, fighting out of Hollywood, Florida, by way of Jamaica. Please welcome the ass-kicking machine, Jason Jackson. Someone's getting fined for that. He's 10-3 as a pro. 4 knockouts, 3 submissions to a credit. He's a no-nonsense guy. He's ready to go. But first on the scale at 170.5, 170.5. And now his opponent making his way to the scale. 7-1 as a professional. All of his 8 fights inside the Bellator cage. Please welcome Easy Ed Ruiz. Fighting out of San Jose, California by way of Harrisburg, PA, the Penn State Nittany Lion, wrestling standout, 4-time All-American, 3-time national champ. 170 even on the scale, 170 pounds even for Easy Ed Ruiz. Next up, it'll be the co-main event. It'll be 3 5-minute rounds. Light heavyweights coming up to the scale. Please welcome first from Stockholm, Sweden, making his Bellator debut, King Carl Albrechtsen. Nine and 2 as a pro, 4 knockouts, 3 submissions to his credit, weighing in 205 even, 205 pounds even for Albrechtsen. Speaking of Penn State wrestling standouts in the Bellator cage, once again, please welcome Mr. Wonderful Phil Davis. The former Bellator light heavyweight world champion. As a professional, 20 victories, 5 defeats, 7-2 in the Bellator cage, weighing in 205.5, 205.5 pounds for Davis. And in the main event tomorrow night, as we're kicking off our doubleheader here at Mohegan Sun, 2 iconic names getting together to do it once again inside the cage. First up, the fighter out of the blue corner, please welcome Roy Big Country Nelson. Out of Las Vegas, Nevada. 23-17 as a pro on the scale. 258, 258 pounds. And now his opponent, back in the Bellator cage, the former heavyweight world champion. Please welcome Frank Mir. Frank Mir on the scale, 265.75. 265.75 pounds for Mir. There's your main event. They'll run it back tomorrow night. Bellator 231, Big Country, Frank Mir. And for those joining us in the live stream, we thank you. For those here at Mohegan Sun, we thank you for joining us. Good luck back on the gaming floors here at Mohegan Sun. Again, tomorrow night, the first of a doubleheader weekend. kicking off here at Mohegan Sun tomorrow night. Bellator 231 live on Paramount Network.